Welcome everybody back to the channel. So today I have another Patreon request from Moon Baby, who always, and I really do appreciate this, always puts kind of a description of her request. Number one, it alleviates me having to do a lot of research. Number two, it gets me intrigued enough to research, right? So it's kind of a mixed bag there. So this is again a Hua Chenyu performance. For those of you that don't know, I already reacted to one of his songs. I'll leave a link in the description as well as a card up here to let you guys know that so you guys can click on that one and watch that. She said, this is a concert performance, so shouldn't block. This song, which is one of his own, is a display of different aspects of his own personality. To express his self-awareness and some of the things he struggles with, including questioning deep philosophies and wrestling with other emotional issues. He often uses his music to address mental health issues in order to help others come to terms with their struggles too. So one of the reasons I wanted to share that portion of it is because you guys know that I've been very much a proponent of mental health on my channel, and I appreciate artists that do that as well. Ren being kind of the main one that I've come upon. That's why my channel went in that direction. So that's very important to me. So I'm always going to share artists that do that, right? All right, so this is Hua Chenyu, 7 Personalities. And this is the New Year's Eve gala in 2020. So this is during COVID, which is interesting. But anyways, again, this is a Patreon supporter, Moon Baby. She sent this to me. She's always sending me content, so I really do appreciate you, Moon Baby. Thank you so much for being one of the highest pledge members on my Patreon. It means a lot. Without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into this. Again, this is Hua Chenyu, 7 Personalities.
Hello， 大家新年快乐！接下来这首歌是我写的一首新歌，也是我第一次在电视上首秀，希望大家喜欢。7重人格。夜幕低垂，虫鸣叫，看天空飞过知更鸟。 窗边的麻雀为谁在哀悼？加油
！I want to say I really do enjoy the rock elements that he has to his music. The first one I mentioned it, but also in this one I'm noticing very much so a lot of rock elements, right? It's not just that it's guitar, but it's the melodies, there's riffs, right? All the kind of staples of rock. I really do like that. Let's go back a little bit here. Ooh, I like that line. He said, if all ancient books turn blank, what did he say? How could the past be portrayed? I feel like, right, what's the saying? Where if we don't know our history, we're doomed to repeat itself, right? But I also think that could mean if we're erasing history, right? What are we trying to hide? I feel like there's kind of like a triple entendre there. Really interesting. Vamping those 2 chords. Man, that vibrato is crazy. Hold on, this is going way too fast for me. I can read fast, but flourish and decay in endless cycles, right and wrong, victory and defeat alternate. Hundreds of mundane life forms and eons of samsara. Man, I have to go through that whole section again, but I feel like this is something that I like to assume that every person has gone through some type of mental health, I wouldn't say issues, but they've gone through mental health struggles, right? Every person has, whether they know it or not, they have. And that being said, not everybody goes through the same thing. For me, I tend to overanalyze, overthink a lot of stuff. Usually it's like a situation that happened or a situation that is happening or some type of event in my life that's going on that I tend to overthink. I dwell on it in a negative way. But there are those times too where that bleeds into like reality. And what does everything mean? Why am I here? What is the purpose of me being here in this life with these people, right? Why is it this way? Why, then it starts talking about nature and all, like it gets so ethereal. Sometimes little things, right, that you can dwell on that cause kind of this, anxiety, depression can bleed into much bigger things. Like the whole entirety of kind of being, right? What's the reason for being type of thing? Like literally the entirety of life. I think that's really kind of a tricky or scary place to be in where you're questioning reality, right? And I think that is definitely part of kind of a mental health lapse that people can go through where everything's questioned. Everything is, why is every single detail of life, of existence this way? Why is it like that? And I think that's where he's at. He's questioning all of that stuff. Then he goes into talking about how, one thought can change can change everything. The way he views everything can change his perspective. Wow. I didn't expect it to get this deep. I want to go through that. A lot of this is like poetry, right? And with poetry, you sometimes get a lot of words meaning like literally lots of words that could be said more succinctly, but for the sake of poetry and artistry, right, you add a lot of pretty words. But let's go back. Yeah, all things bloom with a single move of my thought, right? Again, things can change depending on how you think about things, depending on your mentality, depending on how you view certain things. Let me dictate, up to me to dictate. All shall vanish and only leave that completely unrestrained self, right? When you have that different mentality on life, on everything, you can finally feel free. You can feel unrestrained. I dash to battle on the verge of losing control. What he says something else. Bearing uncongealed wounds, right? Not afraid of my flaws, you know, not afraid of the fact that I'm not perfect, and owning that. Showing my vulnerabilities. I dash to battle on the verge of losing control. Sometimes we have to get to right before we have a breakdown or whatever to not only feel what we need to feel, but also to understand or learn more about ourselves and our situation. To finally escape out of that mental struggle. Crazy. And crazy vocal performance going on top of all that. Something I want to talk about right there. So I'm going to stop it because this is important. If men could accept succumbing to these predestined sullen fates, voice is so smooth, man. Oh, I like the cutout. Oh shit, I was not ready for that. It's so cool, man, how he's able to like mix all these genres. So I'm gonna get into that in a second. There's this, I think I was a little bit off on some of the lyrics because it's all coming to fruition at this point. So if men could accept this fate, right? He's coming to these predestined sullen fates. Yeah. When tranquility arrives once more. How beautiful is the scenery, even stars doth stumble and perish in pitch blackness. Like a puzzle. So my interpretation of this, right? And that's all I can give, because the thing with art sometimes is it can be interpreted different ways from how the artist actually intended. And sometimes that is the intention. But what I'm getting from this whole thing, this part specifically, is right. This whole thing has been a struggle to fight one's demons and get through all of the mental struggles. And why is life? What is life? What is my existence? Does it mean anything? And then to, as he said, succumbing to what he believes his fate is, which is the darkness, right? Even the brightest things in the universe, stars, perish in the darkness, right? So no matter how happy you might be at some point, no matter how perfect you might think you are, how successful you are, you can't, get out of the fate of, essential perish, right? It's a really dark thing, and the music goes along with it, right? You have these ups and downs and changes in intensity, and that's the changes in emotion. And then at the end, when it's finally succumbed to those demons, finally succumb to your mental lapse, your mental struggle, is the fire, the rock, the hard rock, the tension, the screaming, right? That's the end of the anguish. The tranquility is the ending of the anguish in, we all know the word, right? Offing yourself. It's really deep, man. Wow. This was not what I expected. And the last one was deep, but it wasn't like this. And it's, I think the messages like this is kind of, I feel like it's something that isn't really taken seriously in a lot of music, especially in the mainstream. People hear music like this and oh, it's just emo. It's like, it has meaning. Like, it resonates with a lot of people, But Hua Chenyu has surprised me, not only with his lyrics, not only with his singing. I've mentioned his singing in the last video, so I'll kind of not talk too much about it, but the way he's able to mix these genres and make it work for the song is really incredible, to be honest. You have elements of pop. You obviously have the Oriental kind of song with him singing that humming part, for lack of a better term. That whole part sounded very like Oriental or Asian, however you want to call it. But then you have the rock elements, what I mentioned from the very beginning, right? It started at a rock element and it ended at a rock element with the hard rock, the kind of the metal like torque at the end. Really cool how he's able to interweave these different genres for the song's story to progress. Really incredible, really interesting, man. Well, Moon Baby, I really appreciate that. I want, keep those requests coming. Keep the Hua Chenyu requests coming, because this guy's another artist that's blowing me away with their talent and just what they're able to do with music and the message in their music. So I really do appreciate it. If you guys liked this reaction, if you guys liked me and my kind of thoughts on this, feel free to join my Patreon. Lots of cool perks there, including being able to get your request moved to the front of the list. Member shout outs, personal messages, private messages, all a bunch of cool stuff. And there's actually stuff on my Patreon that is not on YouTube that you guys can watch as well if you are a member. Again, it's not requested or not required or expected, but it definitely does help the channel a lot. So I appreciate that so much. I'm working on my own music right now, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And when that's ready to go, I have a sneak peek on my Discord if you'd like to join. Link in the description below. All right, I appreciate the love and support, and please do remember that good vibes are contagious.